VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question. Is Ryan Kinel racist? No, I don't think he is. But I do think I understand why people might think so. And I think this could be a hashtag teachable moment for non-leftists in this so-called culture war. So it looks like Ryan Kinel got himself in a little bit of hot water with this comment here in his Batman review.
There were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider overall moral good people were, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again, very much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that.
Full disclosure, I'm recording this before having seen this movie, so I can't really talk to his point. But I do want to talk to the fact that I understand that there are people who have no context for the culture war and thus may hear something like this and it sounds crazy to them. I don't think Ryan Kinel is some crazy wig not racist, but I do understand why somebody who doesn't even know a culture war is going on. I think it's easy to forget that most people are normies and don't even understand what's been happening with pop culture and media over the past 5 years. Even if they don't like it, they don't really know why. They can't quite put their finger on it. I've had parents and family members and coworkers and friends just randomly say, man, stuff just sucks nowadays, and talking about TV shows and movies, not really understanding there's an agenda at work and there are people putting identity politics over story. Me having this context, I understand what Ryan is saying here. It probably is true given how modern Hollywood is nowadays, but I understand that people don't always have context, and I think that's something that we don't always account for. I can't help but to think if I played this for family members, they may think this is some crazy racist dude on the internet, not knowing that there is indeed an anti-white male agenda, just like there's an anti-black male agenda. They can't help but to feminize us or make us look ineffectual, or anti-black woman agenda, anti-white woman agenda, anti-trans agenda, anti-any demographic that you see championed or whatever. There's also an agenda for you to feel worse about yourself and to ruin your culture, and there's a divide and conquer agenda to make sure there's always someone to fight with as well. All that notwithstanding, I know it's going into the conspiracy theory stuff, which is what this channel has kind of morphed itself into a little bit. All that notwithstanding, Ryan Kinel did nothing wrong. I don't think he should apologize. I know he won't, and he shouldn't. And I don't think he said anything that's necessarily untrue, more than likely, even though I haven't seen the movie. Nor am I saying that he should soften his message specifically, because the hard edge stuff is why we like Ryan Kinel. Stay gold, pony boy, so to speak. But I do think this can be this quote unquote teachable moment, like a real one. I don't mean that with the sarcasm I kind of said in the intro. I do think people who have a non-leftist agenda need to be more cognizant that there are still normies. There are still people who don't know what SJW means, right? Who don't know what woke means in the context of all these crazy agendas and entertainment, who've never heard the word Latinx. These people exist. In fact, these people are still the majority. The majority of people in this country are neither right nor left. They're in the middle somewhere, or apathetic towards politics because the government sucks regardless. And in general, I don't think conservatives, or liberals for that matter, really realize that everybody that's not with them isn't necessarily against them. Or there might be people who don't have the context to realize what they're saying and it comes off bad. Now, all that said, I don't think every wacko on Twitter is necessarily representative of the populace. I think actually Twitter is the least representative of every social media platform that's out there. But I do think it is something to be conscious of. Not everybody knows there's some crazy agenda. Hell, you may not have thought so 5, 6, 7 years ago that there was some crazy anti-male agenda, that there was some crazy anti-white agenda, that there was some crazy divisive agenda that was going to be put in all of entertainment. You would have thought that was crazy maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but nowadays it's pretty obvious. But even with how obvious it is, most people don't really pay attention to entertainment. It's a part of their lives. It's not everything they see, and we do have to be conscious of that when we're making content, because you get more bees than honey. I think if you're trying to win a culture war, which I think the culture war is also a work that's kind of just divide and conquer, but if you're trying to win a culture war, you got to realize not everyone's participating in it. To play sort of angel's advocate to Ryan's point, this is a Batman movie. I mean, in Gotham, how many good characters are there really? Usually it's only Batman, Alfred, and Gordon. Those are the only characters you can say that are consistently good across the Batman universe. Maybe in the Nolan films with John Blake, or with Robin and Batgirl in the Schumacher films, there's a partner and you have Lucius Fox. But most of the characters in Gotham are insane or evil. I mean, it's fucking Gotham, which honestly is probably part of the reason that, again, a normie might come across this and think Ryan is reaching and is racist, which he's not. It's just that you need the context of this culture war to realize that. For some more Angel's advocacy, I do want to say that if some raging lunatic leftist had done some retrospective review of The Dark Knight and said, hey, Joker kills a lot of black people, that's racist, because he actually does kill quite a few black people for how many black people are in Gotham. That's neither here nor there. But if somebody did that, I would roll my eyes at it. And so to some extent, I do have to not roll my eyes, but I do get why someone might think this is a reach, at least from that perspective. So in short, Ryan Kinel did nothing wrong. I'm not saying Ryan Kinel should change what he does. It's not really about Ryan Kinel. I think there's a lot of talking points that get lost in translation when normal people hear them who don't have the context of the culture war. And I just want to provide and speak to that more than anything. I think this controversy will probably blow over. I hope it does. I'm recording it on March, what is this, the 4th or something? It's the day the Batman comes out, even though I'm not going to be able to see it till that Saturday. Whatever day it is, because I'm too tired to know, that's what day I'm recording this. So I'm recording it very close to the controversy, quote unquote controversy. Haven't started, so I don't know how it turns out. But in any event, what do you think? If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged, please subscribe. And please comment down below. What do you think? Is Ryan Kinel, did he do something wrong? Are the leftists crazy who are attacking him and sending him death threats? Which, yes, they are. That point is true. But do you think there is something to learn? That people should kind of remember that not everyone gets the context and some things may come off crazy. I think sometimes we gotta talk to ourselves like it's 2010. Just, you know how you say read it out loud to see if it makes sense? Act like it's 2010 to see if it'll translate to normies, or whatever year you think before the wokeness. Maybe you think it's 1984, whatever it is. Oh, we're in 1984.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Hey, listen, before we get out of here, we got to change the name of this town back to where we found it. We found it at Motown. That is where we must leave it. Dancers, what's the name of this town? Motown. What's the name of this town? Motown. Sugar, south of south. You didn't get out today. It's definitely not Shirley's.
No, it's not my fault.